overview on ESP. For a number of years, vehicle manufacturers have been focusing their vehicle design around integral safety systems. With NCAP, New Car Assessment Program, testing on vehicles becoming more stringent, particular for vehicle built in imported into Europe, safety features have become paramount. The original ABS anti-lock braking system was a major breakthrough for manufacturers and quickly become widespread throughout automotive design. As with any of the developing safety features now deployed, it is developments in the truck industry which has set the standard for the passenger car producers. The singular most alarming event that stimulated a greater need for ESP was a Mercedes A-Class that was easily flipped over on cornering. With the introduction of multiplex within vehicles, it was possible to design a braking system which would incorporate a widespread operating specification of the braking mechanism. The introduction of EBCM, electronic braking control module, which are able to enhance the ABS system to include the systems such as ASR or anti-slip regulator and ASD and or adjustable speed drive. Mercedes-Benz were the first company to incorporate these technologies into the nominal ABS system. Traction control was also incorporated at this time. With the widespread use of CAN bus system, manufacturers are now able to add the new safety braking system we now call ESP or Electronic Stability Program. Barrier manufacturers have named their systems accordingly. Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Volkswagen has named Electronic Stability Program or ESP. BMW and Jaguar named Dynamic Stability Control or DSC. Lexus Motors has named Vehicle Skid Control or VSC. Porsche has named Porsche Stability Management or PSM. Volvo has named Dynamic Stability Traction Control or DTSC. The principle of ESP. We have made a short algorithm here to give an idea the sequence when the EBCM receives a signal down the network. Of course, all of this kind of sequence happens within a split of second. Here you can see ESP or Electronic Stability System layout in a car. ESP system operation. When the car moves into a position which is by the yaw sensor to be outside of the parameter set by the system, the ESP will active. For the driver, certain functions in the car will activate which the driver has no control over. Depending on the manufacturer of the system, Bosch, Continental, TVS, Delphi, there will be functions in the car which are linked together and will operate together to bring the car back under control. If the car begins to skid, the driver will usually attempt to brake and hopefully try to drive into the direction of the skid. In practice, this doesn't always happen, so the car will do itself. The vehicle will take over the accelerator and operate this independently, apply pressure to the braking system regardless of how much pressure the driver applies, alter the steering angle if the vehicle is equipped with electronic steering wheel control. During this time, it is usual to see the ESP lamp light and can be accompanied by a continuous pinging noise. The duration that ESP operates is variable and dependent on how quickly the car back under control. This is measured by the yaw sensor and in principle it operates like a gyroscope, thereby monitoring the rotational angle of the car. The sensors convert movement into electrical data current and thereby send information through the bus to the EBCM. Additional forces which act on a vehicle are: first, tractive force; second, brake pressure which counteracts tractive force; third, lateral forces which preserves the vehicle's steerability; fourth, adhesion forces resulting from friction and gravity, among other things. Vehicles are also subjected to the following forces. First, yaw moments, which try to rotate the vehicle about its vertical axis. Second, wheel moments and moment of inertia, which try to retain the direction in which the vehicle is moving, plus other forces such as aerodynamic drag. Now, let's focus on the control process of ESP. Here, please see the picture and we will tell in details. Before ESP can respond to a critical driving situation, it must answer two questions. The first question is that in what direction is the driver steering? And the second question is that in what direction is the vehicle is moving? The system obtains the answer to the first question from the steering angle sensor and the speed sensor of the wheels. The answer to the second question is supplied by measuring the yaw rate and lateral acceleration. If the information received provides two different answers to questions A and B, ESP assumes that a critical situation can occur and that interference is necessary. A critical situation may manifest itself in two different types of behavior of the vehicle. First, the vehicle threatens to understeer by selectively activating the rear brakes on the inside of the corner and intervening in the engine and gearbox management system. ESP prevents the vehicle from overshooting the corner. Second, the vehicle threatens to oversteer by selectively activating the front brake on the outside of the corner and intervening in the engine and gearbox management systems. ESP prevents the vehicle from skidding. So now we will see practical demonstration of a car with and without ESP, how performance without ESP. To handle this situation, the vehicle must avoid an obstacle which suddenly appears. At first, the driver steers very quickly to the left and then immediately to the right. Second, the vehicle swerves due to the driver's steering wheel movements and the rear end breaks away. The driver is no longer able to control the resulting rotation about the vertical axis. Now, let us observe how a vehicle handles the same situation with ESP. The vehicle attempts to avoid the obstacle from the data provided by the sensors. ESP recognizes that the vehicle is losing stability. The system calculates its counteraction measures. ESP brakes the left-hand rear wheel. This promotes the turning motion of the vehicle. The lateral force acting on the front wheels is retained. As the vehicle swerves to the left, the driver steers to the right. To help the driver steer into the oversteer, the front right wheels is braked. The rear wheels roll freely in order to ensure an optimal buildup of lateral forces acting on the rear axle. The preceding lane change can cause the vehicle to roll about its vertical axis. To prevent the rear end from breaking away, the front left wheel is braked. In highly critical situation, the wheel may be braked very heavily in order to limit the buildup of lateral forces on the front axle, which is also called cam circle. Once all instable operating states have been corrected, ESP ends its corrective intervention. So, what does ESP actually do? The electronic stability program is one of the vehicle's active safety features. It is also known as driving dynamic control system. Expressed in simple terms, ESP is an anti-skid program. It recognizes when the vehicle is in danger of skidding and compensates when the vehicle breaks out. Plus points of ESP. ESP is not an independent system. In fact, it is based on other traction control system. That is why it also includes the performance features of this system. It relieves the burden on the driver. Third, the vehicle remains manageable. Fourth, it reduces the accident risk if the driver overreacts. The final words and an example. ESP is the abbreviation for Electronic Stability Program. The system's task is to assist the driver in demanding driving situation. That is, if a human or animal suddenly runs across the path of vehicle, and also to compensate for overreaction on the part of the driver and to prevent loss of the vehicle stability. However, ESP is not intended for speed maniacs to try to defy the laws of physics. A responsible driving style adapted to the prevailing road and traffic conditions is therefore still essential.